Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good. And we love talking about the power of education. And that's why we're honored to have with us our good friend, Luke Pruett, head of school with St. George's Independent School. How are you doing?
Hey, Jeremy, I'm doing awesome, man. So honored and thankful for City Current and to be on the show and for the long partnership we've had.
Well, you all do tremendous good. We serve together on so many fronts. St. George's Independent School has been a longtime supporter and participant with our Samaritan's Feet shoe distribution. So we've got a lot of amazing storylines to unpack. But let's start with your storyline, because for you and your family, definitely not new to St. George's Independent School, but fairly new to stepping in as head of school. So one, congratulations. Two, give us a little bit of your background stepping into this role.
Absolutely. So from Northeast Arkansas, I have Arkansas here next to Tennessee, and got to Memphis via law school after 6 years in higher education, and went to work for City Leadership, a nonprofit consulting firm, and was a part of leading Teach 901 and Choose 901 and several campaigns there. And so over about a 6-year period before I went and joined the LeBonner Foundation, I had an opportunity to visit every school in Shelby County and the surrounding region, and just came away over and over again blown away by St. George's. And so when it came time to enroll our 3 boys who are in high, middle, and lower school now, St. George's was a no-brainer. So we've been a part of the community here for about 6 years as parents and as community members, engaging a lot in the type of civic partnerships that City Current has had through our Institute for Citizenship, and have always loved the place. But I had no plans of getting in the education business. I joke that I'm not in the education business. I'm in the St. George's business. I was helping lead major gifts at the LeBonner Children's Hospital Foundation when I got a call here. But it felt like the right time to come and lead advancement. And then my dear friend, our former head of school, Timothy Gibson, wanted to move back into student and alumni life. And so he and the board of trustees have asked me to step in as head of school. I'm deeply honored, only the 8th head of school since 1959, and have the benefit of Mr. Gibson still being on staff with me here. Bill Taylor, a former head of school, will be returning to the Board of Trustees this fall from his post in New York. And then Rick Ferguson, who was the head of school for 26 years, is an ambassador alongside me. So I just feel super spoiled by the head of school knowledge I have around me in this season. And so the goal is for about a decade here to continue to raise the level of what St. George's Independent School can mean for our community.
Well, we're definitely super excited for you, for St. George's Independent School, the future ahead, obviously so bright. And so when you talk about St. George's Independent School, how do you describe, because you mentioned multi-campus, go ahead and talk about how you describe St. George's Independent School.
Yeah, absolutely. We're 6 weeks old to senior year. So, 1,000 kids all over Shelby County and the surrounding region, 50 zip codes represented. So we are diverse in background, location, age. We're an Episcopal school, so we believe that every child is a child of God, and so we want to meet them and love them there. We're unapologetic about hosting chapel and coming in and the life of the scriptures, but we're also open to people from all backgrounds. And so it makes it a unique experience. And the goal is that every student who comes into St. George's, regardless of if they're joining their sophomore year or as a kindergartner, is that they will experience excellence when it comes to academics, the arts, and athletics, and that we will shape them in a way that is fun and meaningful to tend to their hearts so that they have their best chance at a life of flourishing. And so that's our goal. And that's ultimately what caused me to love St. George's, is meeting the alumni from here who just stood out, who they are as individuals, who they are as leaders. And so if we can continue to cultivate and care for young people like that, that's the goal and the vision, is being a school of excellence for both boys and girls, to become who God created them to be.
Well, you mentioned the 3 A's: academics, arts, athletics. Let's go ahead and dive in deeper on those. Let's start with academics. Give us some of the things that really do differentiate St. George's Independent School and help you and your team help the students thrive. So talk about where the magic happens with academics.
I'll give you two examples via advancement wins we've had in the past year. So first would be meeting learners where they are. So the test scores that we procure, the colleges that our students get into are made possible because we meet each student individually in their learning journey. And so Michelle and Jason Cruz, the Cruz family, have come on board and given a significant gift to have the Cruz Center for Academic Excellence. And so that's expanding our learning services so that we meet kids where they are. And the incredible physicist you come, by your 9th grade year. So my son's entering his 9th grade year and will be in honors physics. I'm so proud. When we first brought him to St. George's, he was not great at math because mom and dad aren't great at math, right? And so now he's been met as a learner in a community to where he's ready for honors physics at a really tough place. And so how do we meet every learner where they are? The kid who's rapidly advanced in science and literature, and the kid who needs to catch up a little bit. So that's a core goal of meeting individual learners there. The second is experiential. So we've got all these Fortune 500 companies who are partners with City Current in the region, and we're expanding with Blue Oval City, with everything that's happening in the tech sector. And so we want our kids ready to be workforce leaders on a local level and on a global level. And so we have to be ready for science and technology. And so our dear friend who just passed away, Bob Kledges, came in and established the Whitsitt Center for Science and Technology. And so we're taking faculty members like Krista Smothers, who's a mechanical engineer by trade, who now has 20 years invested at teaching at St. George's. She's the 2024 Robotics Teacher of the Year. And we're going, Krista, Ms. Smothers, what can help you take a 14-year-old to the next level in robotics, in engineering, in math? And how do we not wait until they arrive as a college freshman to engage that curriculum? And so every single St. George's student leaves high school having taken organic chemistry. And so these are distinctives here of the way that we prepare kids academically. What I say at the end of kids' 8th grade year is, you now have a high school degree because you have made it through middle school at St. George's. And by the end of their senior year at St. George's, they have the equivalent of a college degree. We see over and over again our seniors doing PhD level research with partners like St. Jude and the University of Memphis. And so the core of St. George's, what matters most to us, is literacy, mathematics, and the preparation for a meaningful career.
Touch on the service learning, the heart piece of this too, because I think that permeates the school. But when you look at, you mentioned the Institute for Citizenship, I think there's a lot that goes into that side of it strategically in terms of opening up the eyes and the opportunities to serve in the community.
You're getting me fired up. So much of the education conversation in our country is around getting kids on reading level, right? So, in 3rd grade, can a kid be on reading level? And I want to go beyond that conversation because, a St. George's 3rd grader is reading on a 6th grade level, a St. George's freshman's reading on a college level. And the reason that matters is the quicker those core skills can be brought into the lives of our students, of our Griffins, the greater the influence can be to teach them lessons around morality, around civic courage, around civic leadership. We define leadership as taking initiative for the benefits of others. So leadership isn't something you get voted into or you get told to do. Leadership is something we engage every single day when we wake up, as we take initiative for the benefits of others before we are asked, so that when we are elected to a leadership position or bestowed a leadership position, we're already in the habit of taking initiative for the benefit of others. And so partnerships with organizations like City Current and many others have been invaluable for our kids to, by their freshman, sophomore, and deep into their junior and senior year, know about ways that they can make a meaningful difference in the community. I think about Adam's Army. He's raised over $4 million for St. Jude, as a St. George's student. He now leads at the Episcopal Camp St. Columba. He learned that ethos through a St. George's leadership background. And so that's what we want to do is we've been given great blessings in the forms of the families who serve here, and we want to turn that back out into the community. That's the goal and the dream, with inviting kids in from every background, as well as then charging them with the ability to make a difference.
Touch on the two other A's, art, athletics.
Yeah, Jeremy's heard this line, but my line about St. George's is every artist is an athlete and every athlete is an artist. I had a rising ninth grade family who was moving to the Memphis region, coming and touring, and their son's a potential great athlete, and so he obviously wanted to see all the athletic stuff. But I was like, first, I'm gonna take him to the art room. I knew they were throwing pottery at midday. One of the really cool distinctives of St. George's is we don't have bells. Kids change classes on their own. We really believe in that idea of kids preparing themselves for the real world while they're here. We don't want overly regimented life. We want stewardship of them and direction, but we want them learning how to make time decisions on their own. So I knew that there would be a lot of our upper school students there throwing pottery wheel and stuff. And I was like, he'll think this is cool. So we went by there, and one of our student athletes, Stan, was there, and he's going to Hendrix, I'm sorry. And all he wanted to talk about was the pottery that he had thrown. Now he was, all district, all state in footballs, going for a significant football scholarship next year at a great school. And what he was really excited about is what he had learned through his pottery. And I think none of us are single dimensional. We're multifaceted. And so how do we meet kids there? How do we establish their singing voice as a way for them to one day be in a choir that can build community and friendship in a world that, as you become an adult, oftentimes moves away from friendship? How can we use choir as an opportunity to travel to Europe? How can we use painting as a way to build connection? And then also, how do we think about sports not only as hopefully becoming state champions over and over again, as we've been able to do, but also building life skills of health, of development, of teamwork, of cooperation? And so athletic success and artistic success has been voluminous here. We were in the state championship on back-to-back weekends in volleyball and soccer in the fall, right? Like the ability to do that is incredible. We were just talking about Tony Wicker, a 6 state championship. There's so much athletic success, and we are going to continue that and increase that. The Bill Lee, the governor, just named St. George's the top independent art school in the state of Tennessee, which is a real honor that we value greatly. But more than anything, we want to use art and athletics to shape the character of our Griffins. That's the goal, is who do they become through the process.
Yeah. And when you talk about goals, give us a few of your goals looking forward. So when you look at being head of school and building this bright future, what are a couple of your goals?
Man, yes, I love that. I think there is a finding the perfect size for St. George's that really matters to me, right? So we have so many opportunities here, outdoor education. So we've got a group of 6th graders who, because we sit on the Wolf River, they're going to literally bring a boat to school for the first day of school. When you learn about biology here, you don't learn about biology sitting in your classroom. You're out on one of our 4 ponds on campus kayaking. And so there's so many opportunities for so many kids. We have lacrosse, we have soccer, we have tennis. We have one of only 3 8-lane tracks in the entire region. We have only one of 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools in the entire region. More kids learn to swim at St. George's than anywhere else in the county. So there's so many opportunities here. So there's a size that argues for being large in some ways, because we have a large scale of opportunities. We see this in our Little Georgie's program, where we have so many alumni returning. And so we're trying to find more space to be able to meet the demand there. But we also don't want to get too big. We want to stay to where that individualized attention academically is met. And so I'm doing a lot of forward thinking about what's the right size over the next 10 years, and how do we meet the right families there. to be able to care for that on a diverse way across the region, but particularly serving, the areas that we sit in Germantown, in Collierville, in East and South Memphis. How do we serve those regions with excellence? We had a record year in the annual fund, so I would love to grow that. I would love to double that. That would be really great. And I think journeying through the community would be the way there. And then I think there has been a dream. Our facilities are top notch. We had an incredible Heart of a Griffin campaign that did brand new varsity locker rooms, brand new weight room, tons of developments in security across our 3 campuses. But we've dreamed of a performing arts center for a long time. And so how many years away could that be to meet what we're producing within our fine arts? And so those are the areas I'm thinking about. What's the right size for St. George's? How do we get as much money in to make as much of a difference as we can for our Griffins? And then in turn, kind of what are the long-term facilities needs we have to continue to be a leader within the region? Because it's one of the things I've loved as a St. George's parent is how many people we touch through the Lightman Tennis Center, through the Compton Aquatic Center. So we want to continue to be a blessing for a rapidly expanding Delta, West Tennessee, Memphis region. My hope and dream, being someone who went to college in Jackson, grew up in East Arkansas, and has lived the majority of my adult life in Memphis, is that this region would become really interconnected, because we're already interdependent. And so the more interconnected we can become, we can make a difference. And it's one of the big reasons I came to St. George's is I think we're one of the most important educational entities for bringing that together.
When you look at how the community can get involved, I think one, just, seeing and learning about the good you're doing and sharing that with others, I think is a big piece. So helping to share and power the good with everything you're doing. What are some other ways the community can get involved with St. George's Independent School and support your efforts?
Follow us on social media is the easiest answer, honestly, because we will get better and better at talking about those opportunities. So we've got a community work day coming up next Wednesday that we'll tell the community about soon, where they'll have the opportunity to come out on our Germantown campus, which sits just off of East Memphis. And that campus has meant so much to so many since 1959. And so we want to get together, have a picnic, and kind of make a difference on that campus. Your giving goes so far here. We represent so much of Shelby County. And so there are ways that we can make an impact together with people who want to come on board to be supportive financially. And then we also feel a deep need to care for kids and families, period. And so if you're looking to be a partner for kids and for families, I would love to talk to you and think about the way that we can make a difference together.
We'll wrap up with where we go to carry this conversation forward. So website, social media, where would you direct us to go?
SGIS.org, at SGIS Griffins. And then, man, you can get a hold of me, first initial, last name at SGIS.org. I am as available as people come. Jeremy's probably the only person that gets more places than I do. So I would love to connect over the next months and year ahead to talk more about St. George's.
Well, Luke Pruett, congratulations again, head of school at St. George's Independent School. You all do so much to power the good. So thank you for everything you do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, my friend. Look forward to seeing y'all soon. Thanks for powering the good.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.